60 million for Harry Kane?
Plus add-ons.
Well, I think it'd be more than that.
In this market, talking about.
In this market, mate. I honestly do. Yes, I think there is going to be a little bit drop. But we're talking Harry Kane, the value of him that would have been way over 100. He's still only 27 years old, isn't he?
Yep. Well, yep. He's very close to 28.
Yeah, but he's still 27 years old. He's not finished yet.
He's not finished.
And
he's only 28.
And he's one of the best strikers around. There's no way it's 60 mil plus add-ons. Not a chance.
He's 28 in July. By the way, somebody earlier was very surprised when I said that Harry Kane was in my list of 10 players that I was considering for Player of the Year. I know.
If it's not a Manchester City player, he wins it for me. There's nobody gets close.
He has got, in all competitions, he's got 31 in 44. That's incredible.
And the assists. I know you're not massive on that, but his
you're
assists
right.
have been unbelievable. The way he supported Son at Tottenham as well has been just out of this world. He's an unbelievable footballer. He's had a great season. He's had little niggles along the way, but he's still scored the goals he's scored. He's just... You put him in any team, he scores goals. He's done it for Tottenham year after year, mate.
Oh, his record at Tottenham is beyond belief. So since 2014-15, all competitions...
At Tottenham.
31, 28, 35, 41, 24, 24, 31. The 24 years were both injury hit. He only played 28 and 29 Premier League games in those seasons. The goal-scoring record of Harry Kane is absolutely magnificent. It's beyond criticism, and this year he's doing it again. Whether you like it or not, whether you like him or not, whether you like Spurs or not, he is one of the very best players in the Premier League this season. It's not up for debate.
I honestly believe he goes to Liverpool, Manchester City or Manchester United, he wins the Ballon d'Or. There's nobody get close to him.
Well, earlier this afternoon, Harry Kane...
Not Ballon d'Or, I mean the Premier League top
I was going to say.
Not the Ballon d'Or.
We might win the Ballon d'Or.
I don't know why I was thinking about that.
He might win it. I thought you were serious.
I was thinking, do you know what I've got in my head? Manchester City versus PSG tonight, so I was thinking about some of the potential Ballon d'Or.
He could win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, well, he could do if he goes to them, but they have to win a European competition and top scorer.
Well, that's the idea.
Yeah, which he could do. He ain't going to do that at Tottenham, is he? That's the point.
Absolutely.
Neymar went to PSG to try and win the Ballon d'Or, right? Be the top scorer, win the Champions League and win his domestic league and be the player that got them the Champions League. Now he's got competition from Mbappe. So he could get to the dream where he could win the Champions League this year, yet Mbappe could nick it off him. Can you imagine that? That'd just finish him, wouldn't it? And then back to Barcelona.
So Harry Kane, he spoke to Sky Sports after he was awarded London Footballer of the Year. We can have a listen to a little bit of it now. It may be the biggest hint yet that he wants out of Spurs.
Individual awards are great. They're fantastic achievements. I think when I look back at the end of my career, these are all the things I'll kind of go over and take in a little bit more. But the goal right now as a player is to win team trophies. So as much as this is great, obviously I want to be winning the biggest prizes that there is to offer as a team, and we're not quite doing that.
Not quite doing that. He's basically saying Spurs are not in contention for the biggest prizes in terms of team trophies, not individual awards. He's getting plenty of those.
Yeah, loads of them.
He went on to say it is bittersweet. He also said this. He says, for sure, if I finish my career as Premier League top goal scorer and hopefully England top goal scorer, that'd be incredible. But it wouldn't feel as good if I didn't have a lot of team trophies to go with that. If I didn't have the Premier League or Euros to go with that. Without winning the biggest trophies as a team, it wouldn't feel as good. Come on, Spurs fans. I know you hate talking about it.
I know.
I know you actually, some of you are just in denial. This is him saying, I'm up for it. This is the summer.
The problem is as well, which has not been helpful, I'm sure Daniel Levy might have had a word with Ryan Mason, his comments after the cup final to say, but they're 5 years behind. I mean, that's if you're Harry Kane listening that, when the temporary manager is coming in and saying they're 5 years behind. Well, if they're 5 years behind Manchester City, who are going to keep on investing and keep on spending and getting better players to make them better, how are they ever going to catch up?
Well, here's the thing.
5 more years is going to be 33.
You've hit on a great point because they're good mates. They will have discussed that. You know, Ryan Mason ain't just saying that out off the top of his head. That's been a discussion that he's had with somebody else, and it wouldn't surprise me if it's a discussion with Harry Kane about his future.
Well, you don't want to hear that, though, do you, from your manager, although he's only...
Well, the fans won't.
...in charge for a little while. You don't want to hear 5 years behind.
That's real, though. That's realistic.
Now, if it is said... Yeah, but if they said with 200 million in player recruitment behind. I get it. It's a figure where fans can think, oh, yeah, I can see that. But 5 years...
But if that's the reality, Harry Kane is knowing he's got to move. And he doesn't want to do it in a really bad way publicly. So he ain't going to come out and say, yeah, I think my time at Spurs is done. I'm off. I need to go and win stuff elsewhere. He's done this in a very measured way, in a way that's kind of respectful towards Spurs and their fans, in that he's given all... I've just read the stats. He's given all he possibly can to that football club and won nothing with them. He wants... And when Spurs fans say, yeah, but he could end up being the record goal scorer, he's actually addressing that here. He's saying, from an individual point of view, of course, I can break records and all sorts.
He can be the Premier League top scorer ever.
He mentioned them here, Premier League top goal scorer, hopefully England top goal scorer. That would be incredible. It wouldn't feel as good if I didn't have a lot of team trophies to go with it. So that's what he wants.
Would Tottenham fans take Lukaku? I know we've been talking about him possibly... he loves Chelsea or go back to Chelsea. What about if Tottenham sold Harry Kane, and because he wants to, that's the only way Kane's going if he really wants to go, right? And it'd be his choice. But Lukaku coming into Tottenham won't be a bad replacement.
Have you lost your mind? Why on earth would Romelu Lukaku go from the Italian champions to Tottenham Hotspur? Jesse Marsh, who's been at Salzburg, they were thinking, oh, yeah, he'll go to Tottenham. He's chosen that. I'm not really... He didn't even entertain it. And he's gone to Leipzig.
Money talks, mate. Money talks.
And Spurs never pay it. They never pay it. And listen, with Harry Kane, I don't know what the fee would be, but what I think is, given the record I've just given you, I think that there would be takers. I think that there would be takers.
Okay, so you've talked about Chelsea earlier on the show. Would they take...
He's made for Chelsea.
What about... All right, then. What about 80 million plus Tammy? Would they take that to the fans? I don't think they would.
Oh, never mind the fans. It's Levy, isn't it?
Well, he'll take it.
Well, I think he would take 80 million. I believe that he would.
Tammy.
And possibly there might be a player swap in there as well.
And Giroud. And Barkley.
No. Barkley. Mehmet's a Tottenham fan. What do you think, Mehmet?
Chaps, you love this conversation, didn't you? You're like his agent, I swear.
Well, he said all this stuff. Mate, I like Tottenham. You must know if you listen to this show, mate. I've got a little...
How do you interpret all those quotes from him then?
Do you know what it is? He's got a 3-year contract, but arguably Daniel Levy is on his last legs at Tottenham. Okay, we've got no manager. He's made the balls up of the last appointment, right? We've got our crown jewels, which we sold. We've done that once before with Gareth Bale, and arguably Harry Kane is much bigger than to us as Spurs supporters and the club as Gareth Bale. Yes, 100 to 150 million will probably get him sold, but as a value to the club, it's probably 250 to 300 with sponsors.
Well, Simon Jordan says 60 million. And what do you think of that? No 60
plus add-ons.
Plus add-ons. I mean, what is an add-on? I mean, if they win the title, if he wins the top scorer, I mean, it's ridiculous. Who's going to... There's no way. If Daniel Levy sold him for 60 mil plus add-ons, every Tottenham fan would be marching on that stadium.
There's a point that we're missing here. And I tend to think maybe Simon Jordan has got it out by about 10 to 20 million, maybe. But he might be right. If Harry Kane kicks Levy's door down, if he goes in there... And I'm talking about
kick
privately.
My door down, but I ain't sending for 60 million.
Talking about privately, and then I think that there may be a chance. I don't think that he can hold him to ransom there.
Well, if I were Daniel Levy, I won't be selling for 60 million. If he come knocking on my door and said, right, I've got an offer here, Man City, 60 million plus add-ons, I'd be going. If I were Daniel Levy, and this is the only time I'll defend him, I'd say, see that door, young man? Out you go. See you at training tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. I pay your wages. You've got a 3-year contract. See you tomorrow. Bye.
This is Harry Kane.
I'm not bothered who he is.
No, you can't. You wouldn't be able to treat him like that because he would.
Of course you can.
You would want an unhappy Harry Kane.
Do you think he's like that?
The
Harry
influence
Kane?
He is. Yeah.
No
After
way.
a conversation like that.
No.
Yeah, of course he would.
No way.
Be.
Harry Kane would turn up the next day and he'd give his all in training and on the pitch. I'm telling you now.
You think
there's
he's that
no
meek
way.
and mild?
I think he's. Yep. I think he's.
You think he's going to take that from Daniel Levy and just say, okay, Mr. Levy, sir, sorry, sir.
If
no
it was
chance.
somebody who'd come in from elsewhere and it was his second or third club, I would agree with you. It could be different. It could play up. This is not. This is Harry Kane, who's been there a long time now, right? And he got an opportunity for Tottenham after doing numerous loans to get into the first team, and he has absolutely reached to the top level. You cannot expect Tottenham to say, yeah, the club's coming 60 million plus an add-on, off you go. No way. If I'm the owner or the CEO of that football club, am I letting him go for that?
Well, I think that he will go about it respectfully, Harry Kane. If he sees that he is being disrespected in the manner in which you've just described, then I think it could get a little bit ugly. I don't think any Spurs fans want that, do they?